What's happening, people? This is Coach G, leader of the Necessary Growth Movement, creating new habits for a new breed of men. We're coming back at you guys right now with our MI-TRAC series. This is video number 4 in the series, guys. And right now we're picking up where we left off, right? We're looking at mindset, and with the theme in mindset, we got C, woman. So the C was about character. We talked about character, and keep in mind, every principle simply builds on the principle before. So now we're at W, and can you guess what W stands for? Whatever it takes, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard that, right? Maybe in your workplace, maybe in a sports setting environment, whatever it takes, do whatever it takes, right? Well, we're going to discuss that, and a little bit later on, we're going to discuss the whatever it takes. What is the it that it does take, right? But when we're looking at whatever it takes, guys, listen, I wanted to give you a quick story that I think sums it up as best as possible. If some of you guys have heard it before, don't skip ahead for me and hear it again. But I think this is going to ring home to a lot of you all as we discuss the concept of whatever it takes, right? So check it. There was a man, right, a father, unemployed guy, been unemployed for a while. He's dropping his daughter off at school, and on the way from dropping his daughter off at school, drops her off, he picks up the want ads, right? He looks and he sees an ad, right? Big bold letters, right? Scientists from Harvard are paying $1 billion if you can beat the test of wills challenge that they have, right? And he looks at it kind of skeptical, but he's like, look, I ain't got nothing else right now, so I need to go do something. So he heads out there, right? Makes a phone call. They tell him where to be, what time to be there. Say be there sharp, 10 o'clock for us. He's like, there, no problem. And when he gets there, he sees that it's him and 2 other people. Now, we haven't gotten to the hard part yet, of course, right? I mean, he just showed up, right? And for a lot of us, we tend to think that showing up is whatever it takes. It takes a little bit more than that. So what do the scientists do? The scientists had already constructed these 3 rooms, if you will, right? I mean, high ceiling rooms, 4 walls all the way around, only one entrance into these rooms, and that's the doorway that the scientists control from the outside. So no windows or anything along those lines, right? Now, the goal of this process, and they built these buildings like on the ground, like on dirt, right? So the scientists had already figured out a way to construct this in such a way that no one could escape the room. So they gave the guys the instruction. They said, you have one rule, you can only go up, and the first one that gets out of here is going to be the first one that we award $1 billion to. Now, the scientists are pretty confident. They showed the people the $1 billion, right? They was confident they could not get this task accomplished because they had designed it so it wouldn't be beat. They just simply wanted to do what? Test the will of man, right? So couple hours go by. They go past a couple of the places, the rooms they had built. You okay? You want to come out? First guy says, you know what? I'm hot, I'm tired, I'm ready to go. He packs it up. Checks out of there. So they got 2 left, right? My man with the daughter, and we got the other contestant. And some more hours go past, right? And they finally yell out and say, you know what, guys, it's rigged, it's fixed. You can go ahead and come on out right now. And the other contestant comes out. So now we just got my brother who has to pick up his daughter still left in the room, right? And a couple more hours go by, and now they're beginning to get a little bit worried. Scientists getting a little bit worried, like, you know, guy, hey, come on out. You can't beat this thing. And each time they're calling out to him, his voice gets like fainter. Like it's harder to hear this man each time around. And the scientists are going to go pack up, and they're like, hey, look, this dude signed a waiver. I mean, hey, he dies in there, that's on him. But he signed the waiver. We won our agreement, test the man. And as the scientists are packing up everything, they see this dusty, dirty, like figure coming from the rear, like out of the far distance. And like, what the heck is that? Like, you told everybody the test was over with, right? Like, yeah. And they're looking, and it's the dude. Same guy who's unemployed that same morning, same guy that dropped off his daughter, right? He comes walking up just dirty and sweaty and just looking like the most disheveled individual you can possibly see. And the scientists are looking at him, and they're just stuttering and stammering like, wait, I mean, how did you? And finally one scientist gathers in and says, how the hell did you get out of there? And he says, easy. I dug through the ground, and then I came up. And then the second scientist jumps in and says, gotcha. You broke the rules. We told you the only way you can get out of here is by going up, but you decided to go down. And the guy looks at him and kind of looks away and looks back at him again and says, well, you never told me how low I could start. Now, here's the moral that I want you guys to get behind this, right? I don't want you to get wrapped up in $1 billion. I don't even want you to get wrapped up in how scientists created rooms that people couldn't get out of. What I want you to wrap your head around is you begin to explore the concept of whatever it takes and understand that we already covered character. So when we're looking at whatever it takes, guys, sometimes what that means, two principles come out of that. Sometimes we got to find rules within the rules. Right? Sometimes you got to look enough at the rules we're given in life to figure out what are the rules that we're not being told that we can still do. The second part about this, guys, is that you're going to get dirty. You're just going to get flat out dirty in its process. There's nothing clean. There's nothing safe. There's nothing that will secure you in this process of doing whatever it takes, because you're going to do some things you normally would not do. It's the whole concept behind whatever it takes. So as you guys are going out there, keep in mind that you're going to do whatever it takes with having your character in line. So what does that now mean? Well, you need to get $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. You don't run out here and now go rob a bank. You don't run out here to find the most deceptive sales practice you can do to try to con people out of their money right now. You find a way to do whatever it takes within your character, right? That's within your identity, right? It's the reason why we go through it in the method that we do. So again, not to belabor it, guys, but when we're talking about W and C woman, that's whatever it takes. And whatever it takes doesn't mean that you forget about your character, nor do you forget about your identity in the process of going after it, right? How often have you heard that story, right? Somebody that went after everything, every goal, and somehow forgot who they were. And that can be a little bit misleading sometimes in of itself. But more often than not, we come across that it's two things that's happened. Well, number one, somebody did whatever it took to get the job done that somebody else didn't see. And secondly, the person that did whatever it takes had to somehow change their character and identity. Don't be the latter of that story, guys. Be the former. Be the guy that's not afraid to get dirty. Be the guy that's not afraid to do things the right way. Be the guy that's not afraid to do things with integrity and stick by your identity. Coach G loves you guys. Get at me. Drop me a comment again, guys. You got to leave me some great feedback here. As always, necessarygrowthmovement@gmail.com, 443-600-9169. Talk to you guys soon. I'll be coming at you soon with number 5. Peace.